Wow, I finally bought it, a limited edition zero-track PVC figure. Mu Xiao Xiao walked on the street with a paper bag, with a look of excitement. It's just a bit expensive, it seems this I can only eat instant noodles for a few days. Hey! Mu Xiao Xiao, 17 years old, is an ordinary otaku. His family background is not bad, and his parents are always on business trips, so they are always at home alone. This makes him often complain, the most classic pickup girl in the second element. Conditions: having a car and a house, and both parents are busy. This is a necessary condition for a male sex, so why I have passed 17 years, let alone sex, the girl has not even held the girl's hands. Is unscientific. Is it because my parents are not strong? Looking at the parents in the anime, they are all teammates, and they play well. Even if they don't have a beautiful girl, they will give their sons a fiancé. Sure enough, there is no way to compare the three-dimensional element with the two-dimensional element. Well, forget it, anyway, I don't have much interest in the three-dimensional. With a sigh, Mu Xiao Xiao hurried to the house. In order to grab the limited edition figure, he could go out and wait here early. Seeing that the sky was also going to darken, at this moment, Mu Xiao Xiao was stunned, stepped on the air under his feet, and fell headless before he could react. Hey! Mu Xiao Xiao hadn't figured out what the situation was. Suddenly a strong pulling force came from all around, and he could only shout out a word helplessly, and then passed out into a coma. Which dug this pit? Mu Xiao Xiao, who had passed out of a coma, didn't know that it was not a pit at his feet, but a black hole. The moment the black hole sucked his body in, a spot of light entered Mu Xiaoxiao's left eye. This kind of weird the situation, the passers-by around did not behave abnormally, and they still walked on their own, seemingly unable to see the scene. Diddy, the system is activated, a life form is found, starts to scan for the characteristics of life form. The scan is completed, the host conditions are met, and the host binding begins. The binding is successful, and the Otaku system is officially opened. What sound? Mu Xiaoxiao's consciousness began to return, and she was dazed to hear the sound of dididai coming from her ear, and slowly opened her eyes. Hiss! The eyes, it hurts. Mu Xiaoxiao immediately felt her left eye tingling after she opened her eyes, and she couldn't help covering her eyes. What's going on? Did I get a beating without knowing it? Muttering, Mu Xiaoxiao scanned the surroundings casually. The original inattentive expression also stopped, and then slowly grew her mouth. Her wide-eyed eyes flashed with incredible light. This is where? I saw that I was lying in a forest now, surrounded by tall trees that could not see the top at a glance. Under the big trees, there were countless flowers and plants that could not be seen. Mu Xiaoxiao opened his mouth wide and froze for a while. Said with difficulty, "What's the matter? I remember, as if I fell into a pit before, and then I didn't know anything. I rely on." Woke up and ran into the Amazon jungle. The weird situation made him automatically ignore the stinging left in his eyes. Host, this is not the Amazon jungle. Where did the sound come from? Before he could absorb the information just now, the sudden sound startled him, and he swept around vigilantly. Is there anyone else here? I am not a human. The voice sounded again. I am the intelligent AI of the system. AI? System. Mu Xiaoxiao blinked. Am I right? Of course not, I am the AI, host of the Otaku system. Could it be that I fell into the pit and stepped on shit? Otherwise, how could I be so lucky? Mu Xiaoxiao said excitedly. Otaku system, it seems that my dream can come true. That's it. After standing there for a long time, Mu Xiaoxiao wiped the saliva from the corner of her mouth. By the way, system, do you know where this is? Why did I suddenly come here? This is the continent of miracles, but the system doesn't know exactly where it is. Miracle continent? Mu Xiaoxiao was stunned, then her face stiffened. Could it be that I passed through? Yes. Mu Xiao Xiao twitched the corner of her mouth and sighed, "Hey, you will pass through a pit. In these years, you need to be careful when entering the pit." System, can I go back? The system is not clear, the host needs to explore on its own. Maybe you can go back after reaching the level of God. Really? Mu Xiao Xiao sighed again, "Forget it, I'll talk about it later, this kind of thing is a bit early for myself." At this time, the tingling sensation in the left eye gradually after dispersing, Mu Xiao Xiao let go and asked, "System, what's the matter with my eyes?" "Don't worry, this is just a sequelae of the meaning of the system just lodged in the host's body, there is nothing special." Sequences, Mu Xiao Xiao sat on the ground, "System, what functions do you have, let me see." As Mu Xiaoxiao's voice fell, a translucent blue virtual interface appeared in front of her. Mu Xiao Xiao turned her head and found that the interface moved with her vision, and it appeared to be directly on her retina. So others can't see it. There are 6 major functions in the Otaku system, namely, A and D. On the virtual interface, these 6 functions formed a 6-pointed star. Mu Xiao Xiao first clicked on. After the interface changed, a row of information caught Mu Xiaoxiao's eyes. Host, Mu Xiao Xiao title, none ability, none a simple attribute. Below our end. The arena is the Dragon Quest. This existence resembles a dungeon, and you can get a lot of rewards if you win the battle. Dragon Quest, the name made Mu Xiao Xiao very want to vomit. He clicked on the arena records and opened the dungeon, and found that all displayed in it were 0. After closing it, Mu Xiao Xiao opened the backpack again. The backpack has 3 abilities, and, the system explained. If the host's weapon is destroyed, it can still be repaired and played well even if it becomes shattered. It just costs a lot of diamonds. Mu Xiao counted. There are 50 grids in the backpack. On the top of the grid are end, and below are 3 bars, end, system, this should be is it currency. Yes, diamonds can be used to buy props and equipment, crystals can be used to buy pets and characters, and score points are used to buy blood abilities and titles. Can only be obtained from the Dungeon and Dragon Quest, There is also a fragment synthesis. It was discovered that there was a fragment synthesis ability next to it. After Mu Xiao Xiao opened it, the interface displayed, below it, a row of data is displayed. X fragment can replace any fragment character card soul fragment and chaos fragment times 50 pet card soul fragment and energy fragment times 50 ability card chaos fragment and energy fragment times 50 times 50 times 50. What is this? Mu Xiao Xiao asked quickly. This is fragment synthesis. The above 5 special props can be synthesized with fragments. Using these 5 special props, you can randomly obtain equipment, abilities, etc. Random. Originally thought that a character card or the like could be assigned to a certain character, but now his interest has dropped by half when he hears of randomness. Because of the influence of domestic web games all the year round, he does not hold any random lottery games at all. Hopefully. Host, please rest assured. Although it is random, the scope of acquisition is limited to animation games. UU reading www.uuganshu.com can basically obtain good things. As long as the luck is not too bad, even if it is an artifact or a powerful bloodline ability, it is also very good. It's easy, so these cards are counted as special items. That's it, Mu Xiao Xiao nodded and looked at the next one, Mall, let's see if there are any good things. Is divided into 5 templates, namely, end. After opening several templates, Mu Xiao Xiao found those powerful abilities or the amount of money the character spends is not a lot. Boundary Monster, 1000 record points, 800 diamonds Icarus, 300 crystals in the currency, the most valuable is the crystal, and the number of crystals obtained by completing the task or dragon quest is the least, and the record point is about the same as the value of the diamond, the system said. Next is the copy. The copy is the world of animation and games. You can only enter after opening a copy, and opening a copy requires an item copy key. A key can only be used once. If the host clears the copy will be permanently opened and the host can enter and exit at will. Dragon Quest is similar to a level-breaking game. There are 10 levels in total, and each level will have a defending boss. If you defeat the boss, you can enter the next level. The more levels you clear, the higher the reward. As for the faction, the Overlord can be regarded as a separate base development system, but the Overlord does not currently have a base, so this function is also useless. By the way, now I'm poor and white. The system doesn't have any benefits. After playing with the subsystem for a while, Mu Xiao Xiao looked around and said, if you accidentally run out of a wolf, a tiger, or something. Thinking about it, she shuddered. Mu Xiao Xiao shook her body, I'm going to die in a tiger's mouth. The host can get a gift package, do you receive it? Is it necessary to say, take it, the gift bag, there should be good things. Mu Xiao carefully opened the package with expectation, and saw a blue gift bag box lying quietly inside. Novice gift pack, open it to get a lot of rewards. Newbie gift pack? Is this playing an online game? Mu Xiao Xiao murmured in her heart, but there was still something to look forward to. Since it is a gift pack, the reward must be good too, right? Does the host use the novice package? Use it, Mu Xiao Xiao nodded. Please click to use the host by yourself. Wipe. Then you still ask me. Mu Xiaoxiao's mouth twitches, this system will still be fucked? I reached out and clicked on the blue gift bag, and the gift bag suddenly turned into several rays of light, falling on a row of grids in the package. Congratulations to the host for obtaining . It's not bad. Mu Xiao Xiao didn't expect to have a character card, but apart from a prop card, character card, and diamonds, everything else is not very good. Energy fragments can only be used at present. Decorating, looking at the blue fragments in the parcel, Mu Xiao Xiao opened them all. Don't look at the 50 diamonds, it seems that there are few, you can already buy good props and equipment, and let me see. A bottle of ordinary life potion 1 diamond, life potion, is it to recover from the injury? It's pretty good, and it's very cheap, thinking, Mu Xiao Xiao didn't exchange it, after all, it is now not needed, and it can be exchanged randomly. It's not anxious at this moment, now it's mainly weapons. Oh, I didn't think there were even guns. Mu Xiaoxiao's eyes beamed, looking at the large and small guns in the mall, excitedly stretched out his hand to prepare for exchange, and suddenly stopped. Wait. It seems that I don't know how to use a gun, wipe, but even so, things like grenade bombs can still be used. Thinking about it, Mu Xiao Xiao exchanged 5 high explosive grenades. 5 high explosive grenades are only 10 diamonds, which is quite a bargain. Looking at the 5 extra grenades, Mu Xiao Xiao also relaxed. I believe this thing should have a good effect on the monster. It's not good if the monsters are attracted, and you still have to be careful in this unknown world. The remaining diamonds can also be exchanged for some good cold weapons and props, but Mu Xiao Xiao didn't exchange it anymore. Even if he changed the weapon, he wouldn't be able to use it. It's not as good as a few grenade, so let's put it there for now. Woo, although 20 crystals can also be exchanged, they are basically ordinary cartoon characters. Mu Xiao Xiao turned a few pages of the interface and searched on it. I really want to see the real two-dimensional element. Beautiful girl, but in this dangerous other world, let's forget it. I will talk about it later when I have the ability to protect myself, and there is a character card in the bag that is useless. Thinking, Mu Xiao Xiao closed the character interface and opened the pet interface. The pets that can be exchanged are basically weaker. Wait, Mu Xiao Xiao suddenly stopped, staring at a pet on the interface, and asked in his mouth, System, can pets like this evolve on their own? Yes, the system replied, this kind of pet can spend crystals to evolve, or it can develop feelings with the host, and then evolve on its own. Great, then I'll exchange this pet. It's exactly 20 crystals. Mu Xiao Xiao clicked on the interface and spent 20 crystals. A white magic circle appeared and Mu Xiao Xiao had to cover it. After closing his eyes, after the light dissipated, the snow-white puppy stood in front of Mu Xiao Xiao, with both ears drooping, and a golden ring around his neck, staring at herself with big shiny eyes. Little. I feel that the name Xiao Xiao is more suitable for you, puppy beast. Mu Xiao Xiao smiled bitterly and bent down and hugged puppy beast. At the same time, she could feel a weak connection between herself and puppy beast. That's right, this is the puppy beast in Digimon. The sacred Digimon during the growth period is still very weak, but if it evolves into the ultimate body, it's absolutely heaven-defying. Mu Xiao Xiao exchanged her without hesitation. Little is a little name. Puppy Beast touched Mu Xiaoxiao's arms affectionately, and said in her immature voice. Mu Xiao Xiao touched the little beast's head, feeling a little unreal. Xiao Xiao, what's wrong with you? Seeing Mu Xiao Xiao suddenly start to daze, Puppy Beast asked strangely. No, it's nothing. Mu Xiao Xiao shook her head. Puppy Beast, we will be companions from today. Companion. Puppy Beast was stunned, and then said, Xiao Xiao is my master. Well, whether it is a companion or a master, we will not be separated. Mu Xiao Xiao knew that it was the cause of the system, so she didn't say anything, just smiled. Well, I will definitely protect the little one. Puppy Beast nodded and smiled. Well, wait until you evolve before you can protect me. Now the Puppy Beast is still very weak, but he didn't say this. He was worried that it would hit the Puppy Beast, rubbed her ears, and Mu Xiao Xiao opened the package. Now there are 2 cards left, the item card and the character card. Let's use them together by the way. The system says that the things obtained by this card will not be too bad or tasteless, and the chances of obtaining those good things are very high, and now it is time to try it out. Xiao Xiao, what are you doing? Seeing Mu Xiao Xiao reaching out and tapping in the void, Puppy Beast asked curiously. I am summoning other companions. Yu reading www.yuyukanshu.com. Mu Xiao Xiao explained, this interface is directly displayed on her retina, and the Puppy Beast should not be able to see it. I don't know what props will come out. Muttered, Mu Xiao Xiao clicked on the item card. The item card turned into a light and disappeared. At the same time, a card appeared in the package, and the sound of the system also came over. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the props. Light's enveloping sword? Mu Xiao Xiao was taken aback, and quickly checked. 3 swords of light are dropped from the sky to block the enemy's actions, so that the target cannot be attacked. As time increases, the sword of light gradually disappears. The stronger the target, the sword of light disappears, the faster the speed. The cooling time is 24 hours after use. Oh? This is pretty good. Mu Xiao Xiao smiled, looking at a card in his hand. This one is still very good for life-saving. Next is Mu Xiaoxiaokan to the character card in the parcel. He rallied, the luck of the item card is good. I hope this character card can also get a better girl. Use. Seeing that the character card in the package disappeared, Mu Xiao Xiao swallowed and looked at the white magic circle that appeared in front of her eyes. She couldn't help but lift it up. After waiting for the light to dissipate, Mu Xiao Xiao saw a teen-year-old. To the left and right, with long dark green hair in a knot on her shoulders, wearing a simple kimono, looked at Mu Xiao Xiao indifferently. Are you my master? The girl looked at Mu Xiao Xiao, and Zhu Qi asked lightly. I should be the master in your mouth. Mu Xiao Xiao touched her nose in a hesitant manner. The girl in front of her looked fragile, but she was actually comparable to a boss-level character. That's right. The girl in front of me is the most perverted character in Swordsman Yun Kishi. Although she looks like an ordinary little girl, she is only 1.4 meters tall, but its powerful strength definitely can be called a bug. Of course, the source of the bug is because of the unparalleled vision of the ancients. Even the blood wheel eyes, in front of this pair of Jian Jigu, it is nothing. With the eyes of the ancients, no matter what, the words, the use of weapons, ninjutsu, illusion, physique, superpowers, or even physique, that is, blood succession boundary, just look at it once, and you can understand it and use it skillfully. It can be said that it is the natural enemy of the ninja, and the body will not die. People who have a history of knowledge, as long as they are not deadly toxins or injuries, can be immune and instantly healed. If Chi-Shi is in the world of Naruto, what kind of kaleidoscope, eternal kaleidoscope, would escape, etc., you dare to use Chi-Shi, dare to copy, and it is a perfect copy learning. Is that so? Please advise, Xiao Xiao. Yan Kishi glanced at Mu Xiao Xiao and said. Please advise, she doesn't seem to have the original memory. It should be due to the system, but why keep staring at me? Seeing that Yan Kishi was looking at her with unblinking eyes, Mu Xiao Xiao scratched her head and waited. Could it be said that the person who was summoned would kill herself? Impossible. Hey, system, the worried Mu Xiao Xiao asked to the system, the characters exchanged shouldn't be disadvantageous to me, right? Please rest assured, the host, the character summoned will not pose a threat to the host. The system's words made Mu Xiao Xiao breathe a sigh of relief. The little dog in his arms moved his ears and looked at Yan Kishi. Little, who is this young lady? Ahem, she is also our companion. Mu Xiao Xiao touched the head of the dog beast when he heard the dog beast. He liked Yan Kishi very much. Talking dog. Seeing the look of the puppy beast, Yan Kishi stretched out his hand. Can you let me hug it? Mu Xiao Xiao just hesitated for a while, and then passed the puppy beast. Since the system says there is no problem, then there should be no problem, right? Although Yan Kishi had a dark belly, she was not a bad person either. Miss Sister, really a cute puppy. Yan Kishi raised her head and looked at Mu Xiao Xiao after touching puppy beast's head. I forgot to introduce my name. My name is Yan Kishi. I know this. I am 18 years old this year. Hey? Hey, Mu Xiao Xiao called out in surprise. 18 years old? 1 year older than herself. Looking at the 1m4 Yan Kishi in front of her, Mu Xiao Xiao could hardly believe that she was actually 18 years old, but thinking of the original book, Yan Kishi was still 27 years old. In this way, he slowly put away his surprise. Two-dimensional elements are unscientific, don't care about the details. Mu Xiao Xiao considers whether to find a chance to go to a Hokage dungeon, and copy all the ninjutsu, physique, and blood inheritance boundaries with the 7 real eyes of the ancients. It is absolutely powerful. Although it is very tough now. Character, Yu Kishi talent, Sijiji ancient eye ability, virtual sword flow. Although the ability is only a martial skill of the virtual knife stream. It should be said that it is a sword skill, but the virtual knife stream that can hit Japan will naturally not be in vain. According to Mu Xiaoxiao's guess, the strength of the virtual knife stream in this different world, even if it does not reach the level of a strong person, it is more than enough to survive. Ahem. Kishi, are you okay? Seeing Kishi's coughing, Mu Xiao Xiao suddenly remembered that she has 2 bug-like eyesight, and physical weakness and billions of diseases are the price. Although Kishi she will not die, but her body can be said to be worse than ordinary people. There are hundreds of millions of diseases in it. Therefore, the only weakness of Yan Kishi is that her body cannot support her to fight for a long time. Tortured by illness. Don't worry, it's okay, Yan Kishi said casually, I'm almost used to it. Habit? How can this kind of painful torture be used to it? Mu Xiao Xiao shook his head. It seems that you must find a way to eliminate this side effect. Although it sounds impossible, it should be possible with the system. Mu Xiao Xiao didn't say much, but just remembered the matter. In my heart, well, we don't even know where it is. It looks like it should be a forest. Let's look around. Ahem. I said, is it really okay? Mu Xiao Xiao said worriedly, looking at Yan Kishi who kept coughing beside him. although I know Kishi you are very strong, but your body is weaker than ordinary people. A lot, right? It hasn't been long before I started to pant. It's okay, Yan Kishi shook his head, I still have no problem with this way, ah. Before I finished speaking, there was a stagger under my feet and he fell off. Be careful. Mu Xiao Xiao hurriedly supported her, and sighed helplessly, this doesn't seem to be a problem. Let me carry you on my back. If someone sees me, I think I'm abusing the little girl. My age is quite older, Kishi said with some dissatisfaction when she heard Mu Xiaoxiao's words. I know, but from the outside, I believe no one would think that you are older than me. Mu Xiaoxiao smiled, turned, and knelt down, okay, come up. Yan Kishi hesitated before slowly lying on Mu Xiaoxiao's back. What? What's wrong? Am I heavy? Yan Kishi blinked his eyes and asked when he saw Mu Xiaoxiao's surprised voice. No, it's the opposite. Mu Xiaoxiao's face was surprised, I can't think that Kishi is so light, probably only 40 to 50 kilograms, it's really unexpected. Mu Xiaoxiao was just an ordinary person. He couldn't walk far behind a person with his physical strength, but he couldn't expect Kishi to be so light, and he could breathe a sigh of relief. Are you afraid of me? Xiao Xiao. Out of Mu Xiaoxiao's accident, Yan Kishi asked such a sentence. What? I think you should know my abilities, and the eyes of the ancients, won't you be afraid? Yan Kishi was silent for a few seconds before asking. Afraid? Mu Xiaoxiao was stunned, then realized what Kishi meant, and smiled, I know Kishi you have a BU level visionary, but we are not enemies. Why are you afraid? Only the enemy can be afraid of you. Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com and now Kaijin you look exactly like a 9-year-old girl, the wind can blow you down, even if you want to be afraid, you can't be afraid, if you are the kind of fierce, wicked, 7-foot man, I might be afraid, Mu Xiaoxiao paused, so rest assured, I won't be afraid of you. Do you say this to every girl you meet for the first time? When she heard Mu Xiaoxiao's words, Yan Kishi didn't respond, but he cocked her mouth, however, Xiao Xiao, you are a good person by surprise. Good guy, forget it. Mu Xiaoxiao's mouth twitched, and a good guy card was issued? However, in the 3-dimensional Yuan, a good person card cannot be sent to the girl, and the 2-dimensional card is issued to the girl should be able to get it. Exactly the opposite. A good man, a good man. The puppy dog in Mu Xiaoxiao's arms followed and called out, Xiao Xiao is a good person. Puppy beast, stop making trouble. Mu Xiaoxiao calmly couldn't, but changed the subject lightly. Speaking of which, I didn't find a beast on the way. It's a bit strange. Could it be that this world is not the other world I imagined? No. Of course, it's also possible that there is a powerful monster king nearby. This place belongs to its territory, so you can't see the other monsters. Little, there seems to be light ahead, we may have to get out of this forest. Puppy Beast suddenly pointed to the front and said. Really? Mu Xiaoxiao raised her head and looked forward. Yin rushed forward with Yan Kishi on her back. After pulling away a few clusters of branches and leaves, she suddenly widened her eyes when she saw the scenery in front of her. This is the sea. Unexpectedly, we are actually on an isolated island. Mu Xiaoxiao sat on the beach, looking at the magnificent sea in front of her. It's a little troublesome now. I can't leave here in a short time. Isn't this very good? Yan Kishi said calmly, leaning against Mu Xiaoxiao. Although we are trapped here, there are no large monsters on this island. At least we won't encounter them. It's dangerous. That's right, Mu Xiaoxiao nodded, and suddenly sighed, moreover, this is the first time I have seen the sea. It is really spectacular. This is not the time to sigh, Yan Kishi interrupted Mu Xiaoxiao's reverie, aren't you hungry, Xiao Xiao? Here we still have to consider how to survive. That kind of thing is very simple. Mu Xiaoxiao waved his hand and opened the system interface, as long as you use the system. After speaking, she stopped suddenly, her face was pale, and she called out, "System, what's the matter? Isn't it possible to buy food and the like in the system?" "Yes," the system replied, "there won't be those items for sale in the mall. After all, the system mall is not a grocery store." The corners of Mu Xiaoxiao's mouth twitched, and she became helpless for a while. "Is this system too useless? What should I do now?" Mu Xiaoxiao cast his gaze to Yan Kishi. "Hey," sighed, Yan Kishi stood up, "let's go to the forest to find some fruit. I don't know why, I know all this knowledge very well." "Really?" Mu Xiaoxiao was stunned, and suddenly thought that the original Kishi seems to live on an isolated island, right? It's normal to know. Wait, the original? I remember that Yunanji seems to be able to leave the island. It seems that there is a ninjutsu that ignores gravity, but that seems to be Kixi learned from that real garden ninja. By the way, Kishi, maybe we can build a raft to leave the island. You see there are a lot of trees here. Building a raft is not a problem at all, Mu Xiaoxiao suddenly exclaimed happily. No, Yan Kishi shook his head, although it sounds okay, but who are you? There are many dangerous beasts in this world? Maybe there are many dangerous creatures in the sea. Just relying on a raft, I don't think it can pass this sea safely. That's what I said. After taking a bite of a fruit that Kishi found, Mu Xiaoxiao slumped listlessly on the ground, staring at the virtual interface in front of him. Hey, although this fruit tastes good, but thinking of eating this stuff every day in the future, I really can't stand it. Let alone rice, I can be satisfied with a bowl of cup noodles. Don't worry, Xiao Xiao, Yan Kishi looked up at Mu Xiaoxiao's words and said, I won't keep eating this in the future. Hey? Really? But there doesn't seem to be a beast on this island. Mu Xiaoxiao said strangely, I don't know why. The plants here are dense, but the beasts can't be found. 1. Although there are no beasts, there is a lot of food in the sea, but there is no preparation now, so there is no way to catch them, Yan Kishi said as he fiddled with the large leaves in his hand. Wait until I finish the tool. You can go fishing. That's really good. Anyway, Mu Xiaoxiao asked, looking at the movements in Yun Kishi's hands, with some uncertainty, Kishi, what are you doing? This. Yun Kishi picked up the leaf in her hand and showed Mu Xiaoxiao, this is clothes. Clothes. Seeing the clothes woven from leaves, Mu Xiaoxiao felt helpless. It seemed that she was really going to become a savage, and how did she feel Kishi's posture as a parent? What's the matter? You don't like it? The material of this leaf is very good. It is very suitable for making clothes. It is not much worse than real clothes. If you wear it, you will not feel uncomfortable. A smile appeared at the corner of Yan Kishi's mouth after half of her clothes. I don't know why, but it was strange that doing such a small thing gave her a very comfortable feeling. Well, how could I not like it? Mu Xiaoxiao smiled, but in this way, Qi Shi is really human full of wives, very good, dexterous, and Mu Xiaoxiao lay down again. I was bored looking at the system interface, suddenly stunned, wait, the system, I don't seem to have asked yet? How do I get that diamond crystal? Can I exchange it with a monster core? No host, the voice of the system shattered Mu Xiaoxiao's thoughts. Diamonds, crystals, and achievement points can only be obtained through dungeons, Dragon Quest and special items. There is no other way. Isn't it? Mu Xiaoxiao cried out in a gaffe, too bad? Doesn't it mean that there is no way at all? It seems that the gift package has given a key? But at present, the combat power of my scum is nothing if it goes to the dungeon. Usefulness. As for the special items, I don't have any. How do I get the special items? Special item cards can be obtained through dungeons and Dragon Quest. If the host does not want to enter the dungeon, you can turn on Dragon Quest and have a chance to challenge Dragon Quest once a day. Even if you say that, Mu Xiao Xiao still looked like he was stunned, and smiled bitterly. Now I am not as good as fighting the 5 scums. Fighting that brave Dragon Quest is absolutely nothing. The host can bring teammates in. Really? The words of the system gave Mu Xiao Xiao a glimmer of hope. Can I bring Kishi and Puppy Beast in? Yes, but no more than 5 people can be carried, the system said. There is no limit to pets, and only 5 people can be carried. Great, Mu Xiao Xiao cheered up. If you bring Kishi in, not only will you have enough capital to challenge, but her knowledge can also replicate the abilities of the boss inside. Well, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Absolutely, I will enter the Dragon Quest with Yan Kishi later. As for now, Xiao Xiao, come and help set up the tent, Yun Kishi shouted towards Mu Xiao Xiao, holding a large pile of thick leaves. Yes, I see. Dragon Quest. Outside the tent, Yun Kishi placed a cup of tea in front of Mu Xiao Xiao and asked curiously, what is that? Well, Kishi, you can just treat it as a fighting arena. Mu Xiao Xiao looked at the dark green tea in front of her, the corners of her eyes throbbed, and took a sip after a long while. The taste is unexpectedly good. Well, you will get rewards when you fight with the goalkeeper inside. That's it, do you use me as a tool? So let me go to this arena for what you said. Yan Kishi colded his face. Hey! Mu Xiao Xiao was stunned. You reading www.yuyuganshu.com then waved his hand in a panic, and hurriedly called out, no. I didn't mean that, Mu Xiao Little furiously scratched his head, feeling that his head was about to explode. I just need your help from Kishi. Well, I didn't use you as a tool. If Kishi you if I don't want to, it's okay for me to go by myself. Anyway, don't get me wrong. Puff seeing Mu Xiaoxio's panicked expression, Yan Kishi laughed out Puff, making Mu Xiaoxio's face flushed and ready to explain, stunned, I know, just teasing you just now. Teasing me? Mu Xiao Xiao was stunned, looking at the Yan Kishi who smiled sweetly in front of her, she couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. If she really misunderstood, Mu Xiao Xiao wouldn't know what to do. What can I do? Since you need me, of course I will help you, because you are my master. Yan Kishi smiled and stood up, and entering that arena, I can also copy their abilities. Down, in this world, only when you become stronger can you protect you. No protect me or something, although I know that what Yan Kishi is telling is the truth, I can only accept her protection at the moment, but, how do I say? This sentence came from a little girl who seems to be only a teenager. It really violates peace. Okay, then we will set off, and there will be Puppy Beast. Mu Xiao Xiao picked up Puppy Beast and opened the system interface. Let's go. Enter Dragon Quest. Arena, Fighting Dragon level, 10 floors current level, the first level award, basic reward plus all obtain extra 500 extra rewards plus additional rewards for all clearances 50 special rewards clear 2 levels clear 4 levels clear 6 levels clear 8 levels clear 10 levels all obtain extra *1 with a flash of light. Mu Xiao Xiao and Yan Kishi disappeared in place, leaving only an empty tent and a bonfire that was still crackling and burning. Here. Mu Xiao Xiao looked at the space she was in. A huge 6-pointed star shone with light under her feet. 6 blue crystal pillars stood at 6 points, forming a circle. The sky was a complicated magical array pattern was dark outside the 6-pointed star. Mu Xiao Xiao tried it, but couldn't get out of the range of the round 6-pointed star, but an invisible force bounced herself back. Is this the Dragon Quest warrior? Yan Kishi looked around, her eyes were a little surprised. She was still full of curiosity about this unusual place. Yes, this is the arena. Mu Xiao Xiao opened the system interface, looked at the information on it, and nodded. This Dragon Quest looks like a good reward, but the boss in it is definitely not a waiter. Plus, for Kishi, it can't last for a long time. No matter how strong Yan Kishi is, there is still a bug like Jigu, but her body is weak and her inability to fight for a long time is one of her weaknesses. Well, forget it, if Kishi can't persist, just quit. Anyway, there will be no punishment. Although the higher the level, the better the reward, but he will not let a girl sacrifice these for his own benefit. Diddy, the Dragon Quest challenge is ready to begin. Current level, the first level current boss, Ashimaru now enters a 30-second countdown, and the challenge begins after the countdown ends, 30, 29, 28. Orochimaru? Mu Xiaoxiao was stunned, with mixed joys and sorrows. What's happy is that no matter how powerful Dashyuan is, it will definitely not be Kishi's opponent, but what Mu Xiaoxiao worries about is that with Kishi's physical condition, he can't insist on fighting for a long time. And the first floor is so powerful, isn't it going to be against the sky for the next 9 floors? The key is... could it be that Kishi learns from Dashyuan and sticks his tongue out? Thinking about that scene, Mu Xiaoxiao shook her body, crying in tears. Ashawan, Kishi, let me tell you about the abilities of Ashawan. Mu Xiaoxiao said quickly when she saw that there were more than 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the challenge begins. Boom! As soon as the sound of the system fell, before Mu Xiaoxiao could react, he saw a vague shadow rushing towards him. Damn! Mu Xiaoxiao, who discovered that he had returned to heaven in just an instant, was floating in the air in the form of a soul body, staring at the man with long hair and snake pupils, his mouth twitching. I just used such a cruel hand at the beginning? Can't you play happily? Even though I am almost incapable of fighting, even if I am not dead, just one facetofus. Soy sauce is not like that. Xiao Xiao. Seeing Mu Xiaoxiao's body turned into a light spot and disappeared in this space, Yan Kishi's pupil shrank. Just now she didn't expect the enemy to be so fast, and she wanted to save Mu Xiaoxiao. It was too late, and Yan Kishi's eyes became cold as he watched the Dashyuan slowly sinking into the ground. Kishi, I'm fine, it's okay to be killed, it's just an appearance, Mu Xiaoxiao's voice sounded in Kishi's ear, making her calm down. You have to be careful. It's okay. Yan Kishi heard that Mu Xiaoxiao was okay, and he sighed with relief, and focused his attention on his side. From the blow just now, he could see that the enemy was extraordinary. Kill. It seems that the defending boss here seems to have no wisdom. Seeing Dashawan's sluggish pupils, Mu Xiaoxiao thought to himself, but although there is no wisdom, his fighting ability has not declined, and this decisive way of starting is compared to it's even more difficult for the original book that has wisdom and will talk to you a few more words. Now Mu Xiaoxiao is beginning to worry. The strength of Dashyuan is still second, mainly his survivability, that is like Xiaoqiang's life that can't be killed no matter it, if it drags on, it will be very detrimental to Kishi. But, no matter how anxious, I can't help me now. Whole Shadow Snake Hand. Hey! At the moment Ashimaru jumped out from behind Kishi, Kishi turned around fiercely, ignoring the snake rushing towards him and spitting the letter, Void Sword Flowing Return Technique Girl Flower. Ashimaru's wrist was grabbed by Kishi, and the shark shadow snake hand bit towards Ashimaru intact, but Ashimaru's body twisted in an incredible arc, avoiding the blow, and Kishi was still won. With a calm posture, the light in his eyes flashed, the seventh style of the virtual knife stream peony. Kicked Dashimaru's stomach fiercely, kicking him away fiercely. It's a terrible body. Looking at the Ashimaru flying upside down, Kishi didn't look happy, but there was a trace of surprise in her eyes. After just touching her, she had already understood the physical state of the Ashimaru. It's hard to imagine that a human body can become such a soft structure. The blow just now did not cause any harm. A body of this level can already be called a monster, right? No, I think you are more like a monster than Dashyuan. Mu Xiaoxiao secretly complained. The hidden shadow has more snake hands. It's really a troublesome trick. Yan Kishi shook his head as he watched countless snakes rushing towards him. For girls, snakes don't like creatures, even I'm no exception. The first form of the virtual knife flow lily of the valley. Kishi's figure suddenly disappeared in place, and Mu Xiaoxiao didn't even see the movement clearly when she found that Kishi's figure was already in front of Dashimaru. So fast! Should I say that the people of the virtual knife stream are all monsters? The tongue snake smokes. Looking at Yan Kishi in front of him, Ashimaru suddenly opened his mouth, and a snake spitting out a letter bite at Kishi's neck at a speed that was too fast for Sun Li. Be careful! To Mu Xiaoxiao's expectation, it was basically impossible to escape from such a short distance. In an instant, the snake rushed to the front of Yan Kishi, but Kishi was still extremely calm, and the face was already open. The snake with sharp teeth on its mouth, without a look of panic, suddenly raised his hand to block it in front of him. The snake that came out of Dashimaru's mouth rushed into the sleeves of Yan Kishi, and Kishi shook Ashimaru's wrist again with a backhand. I don't know if you can survive this trick. The sixth form of the virtual knife stream Dandelion. Puff Kishi's palm is a knife. Yu reading www.yuuganshu.com slammed into the heart of De Shiwan, blood gushing out. In this case, you must be, hey. Kishi was stunned, because she only saw the big snake pill, which was pierced into the heart by her, gradually turned into a pile of mud, collapsed on the ground, and the blood disappeared. No, Kishi was stunned before he woke up and sighed, God, is it a stand-in? What a cunning guy, the ninth form of the virtual knife flow young poppy. As soon as Ashimaru appeared from the ground, Kaijin turned into an afterimage and rushed towards him, with white light on her palms, mixed with strong wind pressure, and hit Ashimaru. Triple Rashomon. Boom. Oh? This is ninjutsu? It's really strange. With the strength of Yan Kishi, it can only break 2 layers of Rashomon. Don't think that Yan Kishi is a little girl with her power. Not big, in fact, Yan Qi is actually much stronger than Yan Kiwa in strength, but there is usually no chance to show it. Just as Yan Kishi was amazed, Dashimaru made a few more seals, ninfa. 10,000 snakes. This. Kishi blinked while looking at the snake sea formed by countless snakes in front of him. It's really disgusting, even I can't bear it. Not only her, even Mu Xiaoxiao who has been on the sidelines can't help it. It's really disgusting. Unfortunately, he also hates the slippery snake. Now seeing this situation, if he is not a soul body, maybe the legs are going to be soft. It's really troublesome. Looking at the turbulent sea of snakes, Rao Yi Kishi calmly couldn't help but his face changed slightly, but, just use your moves to resist. That, what is it called? By the way, Triple Rashomon. Boom! 3 huge door stops in front of Kishi, separating the sea of snakes. Mu Xiaoxiao's pupils suddenly shrank when she saw this scene. I don't actually need Jian. Wait. Not just Jian, right? Kishi copied the ninjutsu in Naruto. It seems that it is not just Jian, it can be used without chakra. Seeing that Jigu is really too abnormal. Da Shiwan suddenly rushed out of the group of snakes, holding a rapier in his hand, and stabbing at Kishi. Hey! Kishi avoided the blow, looked at the thin sword that was shining with silver light, frowning slightly, is it a sword? Or a sword? But no matter what you are, Kishi said. Slightly arched his body, let the Dashimaru's pheasant sword pass through his back, then stretched out his arms to fix it on his back, and then violently applied force, the 12th form of the virtual sword flow chrysanthemum. Kishi was very surprised when he saw the sword that was still motionless, and couldn't help calling out, how is it possible? Boom! Kishi quickly let go of the pheasant sword, and drew a distance from the big snake pill, but stared at the pheasant sword in his hand. The 12th form of the virtual knife stream that destroys weapons has no effect. However, there is also a reason why he didn't use his full strength. Thinking, Kishi panted slightly, just using his full strength? My body can't stand it, and with this level of output alone, I'm already a little tired. Solve quickly. Thinking of Kishi's eyes drenched, he took a step forward, one hand on his waist and palm-shaped, the first meaning of the virtual sword flow, the mirror flower water moon. The voice fell, and Kishi's body turned into an afterimage. So fast. Mu Xiao Xiao looked at Yan Kishi in shock. There was no way for the Dashuan to make seals at this speed. Hey! With a whistling sound, Kishi's speed increased a few levels again, and instantly appeared in front of Dashimaru. His palm slammed on the heart of Dashimaru, bang! With a loud knock, he was smashed into the air. At the position of his heart, the bright red blood dyed his clothes red, and Kishi did not give up. This level is nothing to you, right? In fact, he followed Ashimaru in hot pursuit, with a wicked smile on his mouth. That's why the last one is the ultimate move. Void Sword flowing the fourth profound righteousness willow green bonus. Kishi changed his palm into a punch, and hit Dashawan's chest with a punch. Boom! With a violent sound of breaking through the air, all the internal organs of Dashiwan disappeared in an instant, sprayed with blood and flew out. The willow is green and the flowers are red. Mu Xiao Xiao knows that this trick is similar to the armor-piercing type of smashing cattle from the mountain. It is very powerful, but it needs to be stored. Cough cough, Dashiwan fell to the ground, blood was constantly coughing up from her mouth. Just when Kichen thought it was time to end, Dashiwan's mouth opened 180 degrees, and then... What did this guy's body become? Kishi watched as a brand new big snake pill crawled out of her mouth. This time even she was helpless, it's like a snake shed its skin. Really an ability to cheat, hey! Kishi, is your body okay? Seeing that Kishi started to pant, Mu Xiao Xiao said worriedly, if you are too tired, forget it. It doesn't matter if you quit the arena, your body is not suitable for long fighting. I'm fine. Kishi shook her head when she heard Mu Xiaoxiao's words, if I leave, wouldn't it be a trip for nothing, and I already have a way to deal with him, Jinghua Shuiyu. The Ashimaru, who had already rushed towards him in front, also rushed up, turned around to avoid his pheasant sword, and swung it out with a palm. Boom! A palm stamped on Dashimaru's chest fiercely. Hua, bird, fun, and moon. Wow changed from palm to fist and hit his stomach. At the same time, Dashimaru's body also floated into the air. 100 flowers are dazzling. Then kicked Dashiwan's belly, causing him to spit out a mouthful of sour water, and his body floated again. The willow green and red. It's awful. At this moment, when Kishi was about to play the fourth profound willow green bonus, his body paused slightly. For ordinary people, it was just such an inadvertent moment, but for ordinary people. For people of Kaijin's level, that moment is enough. Sure enough, when the continuous technique reached the Liulvei Wahung, there was a momentary pause due to the need for a short period of energy storage. Dashimaru's pupil shrank, and his head flew out fiercely, wanting to take a bite on Kishi's neck. 7 realities. Mu Xiaoxiao's eyes widened suddenly. Although he knew that there would be no danger even if he was killed, he was still nervous when he saw this situation. Damn it! There is a fatal flaw in this profound truth. I didn't notice it because I didn't use it before, and now I'm in a crisis because of this flaw. What should I do? Looking at the head flying over, Qi Shi felt anxious, but at this moment, there was a loud cry of super high decibels from the side. The puppy roars. Puppy beast. Very good. Seeing this scene, Mu Xiao Xiao couldn't help but clicked 32 likes for the puppy beast in the corner. Looking at Ashimaru, who was temporarily paralyzed because of the dog's roar, Qi Shi was overjoyed, and the ready willow green bonuses were also released. Although the roar of the puppy dog is so powerful that it has almost no effect on the masters, the Dashimaru is a shortcoming in terms of mental power, so the puppy roar still has a slight impact on him. This impact enough. Just before he was about to be bitten, Kishi's fist hit Dashimaru with a bang. Ice on the cake. At the moment when the willow green bonus ended, Kishi closed his palms, then opened and pressed it out on Dashimaru's chest. Flying flowers and falling leaves. Then, both palms were in a knife, and cut on both sides of Dashimaru's waist. Luo Wakaiji finally got up, raised his foot and kicked him the head, knocking him to the ground. Boom! The ultimate meaning of the virtual knife stream, a lot of flowers and tears. The body of the 7 realities turned into an afterimage, the ultimate meaning that combined the 7 profound meanings of the virtual knife stream in an instant. You read www.yuyuganshu.com is so sporadic, really amazing. Yun Kishi exhaled, turned around and looked at Ashimaru, who fell on the ground and couldn't move. He breathed a sigh of relief. This is the ultimate secret that can turn a person into 8 pieces in an instant. This guy is because of his special physique. He shed a lot of money, but it is impossible for him to stand up again. So strong. Mu Xiaoxiao looked at Dashyuan, who had been passively beaten. That continuous technique was too strong, and he could force the enemy to float in the air, unless he didn't lose to Kishi in terms of speed and strength. Don't want to escape this trick. Although I said that, I didn't expect that this trick will eventually lead to a fatal flaw in the ultimate truth. If it weren't for the puppy beast, maybe I would lose. Kishi shook his head and sighed, then turned and hugged the puppy beast. Thanks to you this time, puppy beast. It's okay, I don't have much ability right now, and I'm very happy to be able to help Kishi's sister, the puppy beast nestled in Kishi's arms said with a smile. Did he? The host successfully cleared the first level. Did he enter the second level Dragon Quest? The voice of the system suddenly remembered. Forget it. Mu Xiaoxiao saw Kishi look a little tired, and shook her head. Kishi's body is almost at its limit. It feels that the difficulty of this brave dragon quest is even higher than that of the dungeon. By the way, I'm just a soy sauce maker this time. I'm really depressed. Of course, Dragon Quest belongs to the challenge mode, and the difficulty will be higher than that of the dungeon. Does the host begin to settle rewards? Reward? Then settle it. Good host, now start to settle the reward. After the settlement is complete, the host gets basic rewards, energy shards 10, diamonds 50, crystals 20, record points 50, additional rewards, alloy shards 10, X shards 5, raffle card *1 special reward, none. The statistics are completed, and the host will get. Raffle card? System, what is this lottery card? Raffle cards are also a kind of special props, but they are a bit worse than prop cards. If luck is not particularly bad, it is basically impossible to draw good things such as artifacts, but the raffle cards also have an advantage. That is, there is a chance that special items can be drawn, and there are also chances that you can draw special items such as character cards and ability cards. But doesn't that require luck? What you said is really shocking. Mu Xiaoxiao kept her lips secretly, and as soon as she quit Dragon Quest and returned to the campfire in the dark night, she found that Chi-Shi's body was swaying and about to fall. Falling to the ground, he hurriedly stepped forward to support her. Kishi? Are you okay? Are you still too reluctant? It's okay, just rest for a while. Kishi wanted to push Mu Xiaoxiao away, but found that her physical strength gradually disappeared. A feeling of weakness came and made her feel weak. In the end, she could only let Mu Xiaoxiao hold her back. Where is it all right? Kishi, you should go back to the tent and rest. I can just stay outside and watch the night. Okay, feeling that I was really tired, Yan Kishi nodded and agreed. Little, if you are tired, come in and rest. After all, there are no large beasts on this island, and night vigils are not needed. Ahem. Hey, don't say it like that, but Mu Xiaoxiao had to admit that the moment he heard Chi-Shi finished speaking, he was really a little excited, but thought that Chi-Shi was weak. His body and lowly figure, his excitement disappeared without a trace. Rub, I am not low ICN. Ah, it's so beautiful. Mu Xiao Xiao looked at the moonlight pouring down from the moon, which is about 4 or 5 times larger than the earth, and sprinkled on the river and grass beside him, with brilliant eyes. On the earth. I must not see such a beautiful scene on the street. It reminds me of a word, well, moonlight beauty. Moonlight beauty? What do you mean, Xiao Xiao? The little dog nestled in Mu Xiaoxiao's arms asked curiously. It means a very beautiful person. With that said, Xiao Xiao is also a moonlight beauty. No, I can't be regarded as a beauty, I am a man. Mu Xiao Xiao twitched. Do you want to go back to the tent to rest? Little, don't you rest. Me. Mu Xiao Xiao shook her head, I'll talk about it later. As soon as I entered this world, I didn't adjust my mentality. How could I sleep? Mu Xiao Xiao sighed and took out a cell phone from his pocket. It's strange that it's not broken. But even if it can be used, it can't be called, right? Seeing that there is no signal outside the circle, Mu Xiao Xiao sighed again. When she was quiet, especially at this kind of night, she really missed home. By the way, isn't there a lottery card? Mu Xiao Xiao suddenly remembered this lottery card and opened the system interface. Anyway, I have nothing to do, do you use this lottery card? Said, opened the package and clicked on the lottery card. Host, do you use a lottery card? The system prompt sound appeared. Yes. Use it. Seeing that the lottery card turned into light and disappeared, under the nervous gaze of Mu Xiao Xiao, a red gift box appeared inside the package. Congratulations to the host for winning the special item. Super gift pack? Special props. I have to admit that the host's luck is really good. He was able to draw special items of the gift package type, and the value of the super gift package is much greater than the novice gift package. Hearing the system's exclamation, Mu Xiao Xiao became excited. Really? It's better than the blue gift bag in terms of appearance, super gift bag? I don't know what will be. Thinking about it, Mu Xiao Xiao couldn't wait to open the super gift pack. Congratulations to the host for obtaining . Compared to the novice gift pack, Mu Xiao Xiao nodded in satisfaction. This time I changed to the equipment card and ability card. Looking at the two cards in the package, Mu Xiao Xiao used it without hesitation. At present, the combat effectiveness of his own scum, it is estimated that he has been dragging the 7 real hind legs, and he must improve his strength as soon as possible. Does the host use equipment cards? Use. Congratulations to the host for acquiring the equipment. Dragonfly cut. Usually when driving, the target can be reflected from the gun head, and then the target's name is formed in the air, and the target will be cut off if this name is cut off. It can destroy the effect space of Godhead arms and Major Sin arms and hinder the activation of abilities. The phenomenon can be cut off during the upper drive, and the cut-off phenomenon will become non-existent. Seeing that spear appeared in the package, Mu Xiaoxiao's mouth grew big. No way, dragonfly cut, such a heaven-defying thing has come out. Sure enough, my character wow. Dragonfly cut. It has been explained in the introduction that everything that can cut off everything comes from the boundary line, but although it is called the Godhead weapon, it has nothing to do with the God. The Godhead weapon is the general name of the weapon that manipulates fluid to achieve special abilities. The Great Sin arms made through the 7 deadly sins in the line and the Sacred Spectrum manifestation made based on the 7 virtues are both a type of Godhead arms. The Dragonfly cut is a second-generation weapon. Although UU reading www.uuganshu.com has been lucky since ancient times, the Dragonfly cut is definitely more than a little bit stronger than Dilumuduo's double guns, and Mu Xiaoxiao's favorite in the realm. The sister is also the second generation. There will be another ability card. Mu Xiaoxiao was full of excitement and used this card. Congratulations to the host for acquiring the ability. Super Electromagnetic Gun, a kind of super ability, can freely control thunder and lightning, powerful. Isn't this the ability of Sister Pao? Watching a ray of light enter her body, Mu Xiao Xiao closed her eyes. When he opened it again, she found that she was able to use thunder and lightning. He raised his hand and a blue ray appeared. The electric current rushed out, and the puppy in his arms was startled. Human Pikachu? No, now I can be called Brother Cannon. It feels really good. More importantly, it seems that I don't need a calculation formula to use superpowers. Mu Xiao Xiao blinked, looked at the current in her hand, and said in confusion, is this superpower obtained from the system belong to the rough type? This is probably the only difference between me and Sister Pao. Xiao Xiao, what happened just now? Seeing the thunder and lightning that suddenly appeared on Mu Xiao Xiao's hand, Puppy Beast asked strangely, why Xiao Xiao suddenly became so powerful? It's just that I gained the ability. The Puppy Beast is ready, let's go to rest, Mu Xiao Xiao explained briefly, holding the Puppy Beast into the tent, and smiled when he saw Kishi who was already asleep. He laughed, and then lay down on the grass next to him. In a good mood, he soon fell asleep. Connect Dragonfly Cut. Boom hey! Looking at the slowly falling tree, Mu Xiao Xiao sighed while holding the dragonfly in his hand. His face was full of helplessness. Let me use the dragonfly to cut the tree or something. It's really stupefying, but the Godhead Arms is about to cry. Mu Xiao Xiao pointed at the big tree next to him again, the spear turned, and the spear head reflected the big tree. Connect. Dragonfly Cut. Boom! With a flash of silver light, the entire tree was cut off and fell slowly. No way, the only wood needed to build a house can be chopped down with your gun, a soft voice came from the side, you don't want to sleep in the tent all the time, so you can do it. Even if you say that, it still makes me feel very speechless. Mu Xiao Xiao turned her head and looked at Kishi standing behind her with a bamboo basket in her hand. She smiled bitterly, and suddenly thought of something and asked. By the way, your body is okay? Is it okay to walk out? Do you want to rest for a while? I'm fine, don't always treat me as a patient. Qi-Shi's tone rarely appeared helpless, it was just a little tired yesterday, and I have fully recovered from a rest night. That's it. No, you are actually a patient. Although this disease is a sequelae of the sequelae, thinking of the troublesome sequelae, Mu Xiao Xiao has a big headache. To solve the side effects of schizophrenia, the system there are indeed such props in it, but the price is too high, but if you collect diamonds slowly, you can still collect them all. And you can't move these woods, can't you? You still need to rely on me, said Yan Qi, in Mu Xiaoxiao's somewhat uncertain eyes. He easily picked up a cut piece of wood and turned to the tent. Go over there. Even after watching it several times, it is still so shocking, such a weak girl, actually, hey, ruin the three views. In the rough sea, above a luxurious ship, a figure covered in black was standing on the deck, holding a simple wooden box in his hand, and in front of him was a man in a robe. The old man, at this time, the corners of the old man's mouth have oozes traces of blood, his eyes staring fiercely at the black-robed man in front of him. Your goal, is that thing? The old man stared, although I don't know who you are, but that thing is the love of the Empress of the Tamran Empire. Taking it away is tantamount to opposing the Tamran Empire. What are you? Where is the courage? Right. The black-cropped man said disdainfully, don't talk about the plan to attack you this time, your Tamran Empire keeps the default attitude, even if it really goes against you, we won't be afraid at all. You, what do you mean? Hearing the words of the black-cropped man, the old man's eyes widened sharply. Are you still kept in the dark? Then I'll tell you. Anyway, he's a dying person, the black-cropped man paused, and then smiled evilly, I mean, this thing, but yours the emperor promised to give it to our organization, shook the box in his hand, and let you take it to escape here in the Dead Sea, in fact, it is only intending to destroy the body, that is to say. From the beginning, you just abandoned your son. How is this possible? The old man obviously couldn't believe it, and spit out a mouthful of blood under his anger. This is the queen's most cherished thing. How could he who loves the queen the most? Who knows? The black-cropped man spread his hands. Maybe it's just acting, or there may be other hidden secrets. No matter what, this thing is given to us by the Tamran Empire by default, so you want revenge? Don't be foolish. Now, since I told you everything, now, it's time to let you on the road. Damn it! Looking at a dagger in the hands of the black-cropped man, the old man gritted his teeth. If it hadn't been poisoned by you, there would be a rat who wouldn't even dare to show his face. Unfortunately, now you are about to be killed by me, a rat who dare not even show his face, the black-cropped man said, waving his dagger, and suddenly rushed towards the old man and stabbed him. His neck. Even if you kill me, don't even want to run away. The old man yelled, and red flames suddenly appeared all over his body. Then, under the shocked gaze of the black-cropped man, the solid flames ignited, on the boat. It raged, when this ship vanishes, I see how you leave the Dead Sea, haha. You actually burned the boat. Seeing this scene, the black-cropped man couldn't calm down anymore, and said in surprise, aren't you ignoring the queen's life and death? Hey, naive boy, do you really think that the queen is on this ship? The old man said lightly, it seems that the queen had guessed this kind of result early in the morning before hiding herself. This ship, only it's just a blind trick, it seems that you have also been deceived, ah ha 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 ha. Damn old bastard. Looking at the surrounding fire, the black-cropped man Jin held a dagger and pierced the old man's chest fiercely, go to me. It's a pity. Spit out a lot of blood, and the old man's eyes gradually dimmed when he looked at the black-cropped man in front of him. Humph, I won't die, even if you burn the ship, coldly drew out the dagger. The black-cropped man looked at the wooden box in his hand, and then put it in his arms, although let the queen give I ran away, but I also accomplished one of the goals in a word, now. After speaking, the black-cropped man jumped down. What a good job, Mu Xiao Xiao nodded as she looked at the small wooden house in front of her, it feels like a family home. Yan Kishi, who was woven from bamboo, heard Mu Xiaoxiao's words, raised her head, and looked directly into his eyes, do you like it very much? Hey? Ah. I like it. Anyway, I think it's pretty good, what's the matter? Mu Xiao Xiao looked at her strangely. Nothing, Kishi glanced at him thoughtfully, then retracted his gaze. Strange reaction, Mu Xiao Xiao shook her head. As it hindered her suddenly seeing Kishi raising her head, her eyes flashed, and she quickly asked in her heart, what's wrong? Suddenly. Is anyone on the island? Hey! Hearing Kishi's words, Mu Xiao Xiao was stunned at first, and then said uncertainly, Kishi, did you say someone went to the island? How did you know? Intuition. Straight? Mu Xiaoxiao's face was stiff, but she believed in Kishi Mu Xiao Xiao very much, and she believed most of it in her heart. Thinking about it, Mu Xiao Xiao stood up, since you said so, I'll go and see. Wait, I'll go with you. Well, now I have the ability to protect myself, Kaijin doesn't matter if you stay here. No, Kishi shook his head and stood up. Although you have the ability to protect yourself, the combat experience is 0. Maybe it will be dangerous. If you are alone, I am not at ease, so I will go with you. Mu Xiao Xiao was helpless, but the truth is that he really has no experience in fighting. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com is just that he should be concerned, right? Mu Xiao Xiao felt a little happy. Sure enough. Mu Xiao Xiao, who came to the beach, saw a girl with long blue hair lying on the beach. She was wearing a normal cloth and was wet by the sea, her delicate face was pale. Closed his eyes motionless, and seemed to faint. Who is she? Seeing this girl, Mu Xiao Xiao scratched her head. How would I know, but she still looks alive, not dead. There is still a breath? Then hurry up and save her. Wait, Yan Kishi stopped Mu Xiao Xiao, we don't know where she came from, in case she is a dangerous person. Dangerous person? Probably not. Mu Xiao Xiao said uncertainly, it doesn't look like it. Xiao Xiao, are you sure from your face? Kishi couldn't help but glared at him when she heard Mu Xiaoxiao's words. No, Mu Xiao Xiao shook her head, it just feels like, and even if she is some kind of dangerous person, we are not helpless, so why can we let her kill? It also makes sense, then let Xiao Xiao carry her back. Kishi finished speaking, turned around and walked back without hesitation. Hey, there is no way. I had to carry this guy back. I just don't know Kishi. Was that arrogant just now?